Hey guys, what's going on? It's Uncle Zunky here, and I am killing these water fiends at the moment because that is my task. I have, let's see, 187 to go. I'm wearing just pretty crappy gear at the moment, but I just wanted to talk about, I think it's pretty fair to say that we were all wrong about the evolution of combat. It was not what was expected of everyone, and it was not what was showcased in the beta. When the beta was first announced and I first saw it, being the RuneScape player that I am, I kind of was like, this really sucks, because RS players really are typically against change, and I guess I kind of went with that mantra for a little bit. And I stayed that way for quite some time until I actually played the beta a little bit. I did some PvP and found it quite enjoyable. I did a little Slayer. I found that quite enjoyable too, and I said, hey, maybe the evolution of combat wouldn't be so bad. And of course, all my friends in the game were like, no, it's going to be awful. It's going to be the worst thing ever. It's going to ruin the game. And then the Evolution of Combat actually released, and from that moment, all I have done is Slayer. I haven't done a single tree run. I haven't done my dailies that I normally always do, just because I've been so enthralled by this new method of Slayer, and I'm loving it so much. I absolutely have kind of fallen for this skill again. Like, this is really all I've been wanting to train. And one of the things that I mostly love about it is you can now range. For example, like I'm ranging water fiends right now because they are weak to bolts, so this is the pretty much the only effective way to kill them. You can range and mage during Slayer now, get range and mage XP, and not have it be like a complete waste of time. Like, you used to, if you tried to range water fiends, in old RS, you would not get very far, basically. And I absolutely love that. And I've been seeing a lot of really positive feedback from most of the people in my clan and most of the people in my friends chat and stuff. They've been saying, you know what, the beta is really not what I expected. There are a few people who are just being kind of downers, and either they really don't enjoy it. There have been quite a few people as well that kind of just, they log in, they say F this, and log out without even giving it a try. Of all the people that I've seen that don't like the beta, about 90% of them are people who just have not given it a shot. There are a few who have tried the beta and still just really don't like it. And I guess, no matter what game it is, it's not for everyone. This is a very different game. And so even if you enjoyed the old game, that's not like a guarantee that you're going to enjoy the new one. But there have been a very large amount of people who have really enjoyed the beta that were not expecting to. I guess it's just I was trying to put my most positive face on it once the beta was announced and saying, I probably won't enjoy the combat, but I can just skill, and that's going to be alright. And it turns out I really actually do enjoy the combat. This momentum ability, which was not the same in the beta, by the way, it was a lot weaker, and it didn't last as long. It only lasted for 10 minutes. I tried momentum a little bit in the beta. I wasn't too impressed. But now if you use the momentum ability, it's actually nearly as fast as if you killed them using abilities. And that's something I suggested on the forums. I seriously doubt Jags ever saw me, but I was like, you know what, not everyone wants to use... This is what I said on the forums. I said not everyone wants to use abilities, so why don't you make momentum not quite as good, but almost as good? And that's pretty much what they did. I'm sure a lot of other people have wanted that and suggested that too. So, that's really cool that they did decide to do that and kind of listen to their players' feedback. Because when they first released Momentum, it was pretty terrible, and it was obvious that you were wasting XP by using Momentum instead of using the abilities when it first was released into the beta, not into the live game. But now that it's in the live game, it's literally almost as good, and it's amazing because when I play RS, I like to sit back, and if I sit back, it is pretty hard to press buttons on the keyboard and be efficient about it and all. It just doesn't really work out too well if I'm leaning back in my chair. So yeah, it's a lot nicer that I can use momentum, and it's a lot more like old RS. So as you can see, I just attack this thing and shred it to pieces in a few hits. Range is still quite underpowered compared to melee and mage. So far during Slayer, I have no idea what this is like during PvP, but while you're slaying, Mage by far hits the most. It's the fastest, the most damage, that sort of thing. Melee, I would say, is next, and then range takes up third. Because range just doesn't hit that hard. I'm sure if you use more expensive bolts, the gear you wear does not matter. That does not affect your range damage. But if you do use more expensive bolts, like diamonds or rubies or something like that, I'm sure you could hit harder. But I don't want to spend money on those, so I'm just using broads. But yeah, that's probably affects it somewhat, but at the same time, it would be really nice if you could use broad bolts and like hit close to what you can hit with a rapier. Like when you hit a rapier, it's constant 1000s. Broad bolts, it's more like constant 500s, so it is a lot slower. But I guess that's just what you have to deal with. I mean, I am getting range XP while slaying, and that's something you could not do in old RS, so I'm pretty happy. Anyways, that's my Slayer counter, 470,000 XP since the EOC was launched, and yeah, that's nearly 500k XP in just 2 days of playing. So that is insane because you could never do that in old RS. You could never get 500k XP in 2 days unless you played like all day long and cannoned and stuff like that, which I don't do. So yeah, the way I slay, it would have been literally impossible to get 500k XP in 2 days, even if I played 48 hours straight, which I don't do. But it's just, I'm just saying, like, I really enjoy Slayer. Yes, it is faster. Yes, it is easier. Yes, there's probably going to be a lot more people getting 99. It's not going to be as common a skill, but it's a lot more fun as well. I'm guessing that a lot of Slayer drops are going to lose their profit. For example, whips, they were selling for about, I sold one for 1.5 mil on the GE the first day EOC was released. But if you've killed Abbey Demons, they are like a one-hit, so they are extremely easy to kill. So I have a feeling that whips are probably not going to be worth as much. All Slayer drops are probably not going to be worth all that much just because Slayer monsters are so easy to kill now. But at the same time, that's okay. Because you do get a lot of materials, like for example, I'm killing these water fiends now. I'm getting all this seaweed and water orbs and watermelon seeds and mithril arrows, all that sort of stuff. And all that stuff is going to keep its value because pretty much everything that Slayer monsters drop, such as like rune items, they all have an alch price, so they're not going down. And stuff like this, like water talismans, for example, you use those for making geyser titans, and mithril bars, you use those for smithing. So they're not going to go down because people use them to get XP. So I mean, a lot of the money that you make from Slayer is still going to be there. The Slayer drops themselves, like the dark bows and the staff of lights and what have you, those are probably not going to be worth all that much. But I think that's okay in the long run. So anyway, if you want to leave your opinion about the beta, like your first impressions, what you think about it, if it was as bad as you thought, or if it was better than you thought, or anything, feel free to leave that in the comments. And that's about all for this vlog, and I'm just going to probably continue slaying because I'm really enjoying this. My goal is to get 99 range through Slayer, and that's probably going to take a very, very long time, but that's okay with me. I only got about 200k range XP yesterday in quite a few tasks, so even if I was only getting 200 range XP a day, that's a long time of slaying, but if it's something you really enjoy, hey. So anyway, that's going to be all for this video. Thanks for watching, and farewell.